Littlewood Behind the Scenes. Episode 16, Pillagetown Station Part 2. Knock knock, who's there? It is Knock Knock from the Knock Knock Who's There channel. And I'm back with another build, so let's head over to the inventory. So I used some cherry fence, we got some bamboo mosaic and cherry slabs as well as some stairs. Got signs of bamboo and cherry, this is a hanging sign. We got some glowstone and something new, pearlescent frog lights, something that I don't think I've ever used. So time to go check what's been happening since. So if you remember from last video, you'll know this didn't exist. But let's head over to there, and you can probably see it in the distance. You saw that tall building kind of behind that pillager statue over there? I'll try to point to it, so round about there, that's where it is. So we build that huge structure, it's amongst one of the top, 30 tallest buildings in Littlewood. But this is what we've done since. So if you probably remember, it was empty inside last time, and I've just gone and done it. I've also done sort of the beneath as well. So I've matched it to Pillagetown's colours. That's the way to new presidential station, if you remember that BTB from last year. And then I've also gone ahead and sort of started on the floors. We're not going to be doing too much on it today. We're not going to be building any shops, but we are going to cover it and make it more illuminating, if you will. Enough talking about vision, let's get into it. So first I started off by putting some cherry fences. I decided to remove the altitude ones, and then I put the frog lights at the very end of those fences. I then got ready to make the chairs, which took a little longer than I would have expected to. But once I was done with all of that, it was time for me to make the entrances. I had a quick scan of things, and I realized that was perfect for the layout I was planning. So I then put my cherry slabs up top, I placed them accordingly, and then what I did use was I found the dark oak trapdoors. I decided on many, and I eventually decided that this would be good. So I decided to move it to the back. I initially had a plan for the front, but I decided to move it to the back part. And then once I was done with that, I began putting a bit of carpet. And this carpet is what I'd use for the 3 floors, the one at the bottom and the 2 ones at the top. Not for the station though, that's going to retain its original tiling. While I was on that, I decided to just do the repeat for the second entrance. So once again, with the cherry slab, and then I just did that accordingly, once again with the dark oak trapdoors. And it was around about here where I noticed that something was off. Yes, that's right, that's when I noticed that the trapdoors were off. And I also noticed they were a bit low as well. So basically I had to redo every single one of those. But soon enough I was done with them, and I got ready to head downstairs and put just a couple frog lights. Not too much because I didn't want to cover it all in, this sickeningly bright colour. But I decided I wanted some for the entrance to the tracks. I also didn't like sometimes the layout of it. It wasn't very consistent, and so I had to basically redo that over and over again until I got sort of that smooth pattern to it. But moving on from that, I got my red carpet out next and a bit of glowstone to illuminate this place. See, I told you I'll do it eventually. And then I basically did it accordingly, same thing, red carpet along the whole way. Once that was done, I did the very same thing on the final floor, so I put a bit of glowstone on both sides because it's really dark in there. And then I once again went on with the frog light pattern that I did at that bottom of the floor earlier, so I did it around the stairs this time. And then I also did it at the stairs around the bottom as well. And then of course the final thing to do was to just put in the red carpet. And that took, well, it didn't take as long as I thought. I think I was very quick in sort of my building movements, but it's not much of the same that you've seen for the last few minutes. And once I was done with that, just so that this place is bright enough as it already is, I added some extra sea lanterns among sort of the border areas. I must have broken a couple blocks along the way because I did notice that a couple of them were broken. Oops, my bad. But I did that for the third floor, and then I went down and did it with the second, and eventually the rest of the floors. And with that, it's almost done, but there is a few more things to do, and one of them is to make a station sign. So this is just basically a simple sign saying station entrance, and of course, you gotta fit it with some sort of dye. In this case, I chose orange dye, and I also did it for the other side as well. And of course, for a bit of extra camaraderie, I also gotta do it outside as well. So gate 1, basically all the gates. And aside from a couple spelling mistakes, we eventually got to the final gate 10. And with that, this building was pretty much complete. Let's get into the view. You're walking inside the station. You're going up, nothing really there. But I can assure you that there will be something built along sort of these areas, as well as up here as well. I mean, it's not just going to be red carpet. That'd be a bit boring. And I'm also going to do some downstairs here. May do a couple food stands. But there's the main thing. It's the station. And we've got the station fully operational. So, gotta say success. And over there, there'll be more stations over there. But I haven't planned it out, let's say, yet. But with that, that is Pillagetown Station fully 100% complete. So let's get one view at it. There you go. Doesn't that look good? So without further ado, out onto the fire. This is me saying from Littlewood, goodbye. We hope you enjoyed this build. See you in the next one. Oh, and roll the camera.